Hey, so I'm just after coming home from town. There was the vegan food fest. No, just the Galway Food Festival is on at the moment in Galway, and sorry, I'm really nervous. I'm gonna do my hair. Yeah, so there's loads of people in town. A little too many people for my liking for too long, so I had to come home and compose myself because it was such an emotional day. It was such an emotional time that I had. So just there at 4 o'clock, I came into town and I went to this vegan food talk, and it really, really changed so much for me. I felt so much tension. It was such an uncomfortable talk to be in because there was so much rallying, and veganism is something that I've been like flirting with for the last while, and I have just been really questioning the whole label and the whole group as a community, and my presence in that, and does that fit, and do I really belong to this? And today has just really just thrown me straight back into why I came across this community and why I feel so present with them and why I feel so passionate about the message. So afterwards I came out of town and I came across a Cube of Truth activism that was going on in the centre of Galway on Shop Street. And I knew some people and I just went over to them and I gave them big hugs, and I was like, oh guys, like what's just happened at the talk, it was just, I've never been involved in something like that before, and me being like in the middle of the two debates and arguments, because there was a goat's cheese farmer in the middle of a panel of vegans, you could say. There was the woman there was the chairperson of the UK Vegan Society. There was John Venus's brother, Leo, who is a vegan, and he's a medical doctor in Dublin, medical student in Dublin. There was a blogger from my little blog, she lives in Cork, and there was a guy who owns the falafel place in Galway, and there was a lady who owns maybe the kitchen, I don't know what restaurant in Galway. But yeah, I just felt really uncomfortable because I felt like I was neither a vegan nor or someone on the opposing side. I eat like 99% vegan at the moment because I've been eating some other food, and that's what I feel deeply uncomfortable about. And this is just such a great outlet to process my feelings, and I seriously don't care who's watching. It's just, I just need to get this all off my chest. So afterwards, when I went out and I met these people, I started talking to the public like as if I was like volunteering with the Voiceless for the Anonymous, or Anonymous for the Voiceless. I need to get that right. I'm so sorry. I started, there's people looking at so this is this activism, vegan activism. People hold laptops playing carnage of animals, probably maybe earthlings or just some YouTube clip of what goes on in the animal industry with chickens, with cows, with pigs, with all this slaughter and cruelty and killing and blood and guts and what really, really, really goes on behind closed doors. And I was there like, oh my god, this is my throat chakra opening up into the world. Like, this is what I needed to do to meet these people. And I just got met with smiles and hugs, and it was like, yes, like it really felt good and it felt right. And I don't know why I was so resistant to that. Maybe I've heard that after the doors of resistance is like treasure. I've heard a quote like that. Maybe it's true. It felt relevant in this situation. So just to talk about veganism is so important, and that's really what today showed me, that yes, this is something that is so vital to my being and so vital to talk about, especially now at the verge of something huge happening in Ireland and in the world. Like, this conversation is very, very active. The guy who owns the falafel place in Galway, he was like, at the beginning it was so hard, you know, he just had his falafel stand. Some of you are probably familiar with it. TGO it's called. You know, really, really hard to run a business that's solely vegetarian / vegan. But now he said, I don't know what's happened, but it's blown up, you know, in popularity. And I'd say that they're doing extremely, extremely well in there. And it just makes me so happy to see things printed on the newspaper. Here, I'll show you here. I'm an adult now, I buy the Times. Let me find this. There's huge things about the rave and fucking Patty Jackson and all of that. I read the whole article today online. Look at this. They trust us, we betray them. And it's a little girl. This is really relevant for Easter. I figured this out. And it's a little girl, and she has a little lamb, and she's just going up here, and there's all the lambs, because lamb is the traditional food that's eaten on Easter Sunday in Ireland, maybe in other places. And it just has the rhyme, Mary had a little lamb, the fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. Go vegan! World.com, free vegan guide. So guys, go to this website. Maybe just come back here and I'll talk more about it. Jesus Christ, it was just like a breath of fresh air. I was like, now I got reminded of what feels good. It feels good to talk about this, and maybe when you do feel like a minority in a world of majority, it doesn't, you get kind of, well, I just felt shy about this whole movement, and I swayed away from it. But to wrap this up, what felt so uncomfortable for me in the talk was people talking about plant-based diet, and yes, this is the best way to introduce people to a vegan lifestyle, a more compassionate lifestyle, but the bottom line is compassion. It's about questioning what is going on before this meal was made, what was going on before this garment was made, and just to really question that morality. And it isn't like facts and figures. It isn't this question of veganism, a more vegan lifestyle. With a plant-based diet, you can say, okay, with cardiovascular disease, with diabetes, with cancer, with obesity, you can say that a plant-based diet works at reversing and curing these illnesses and getting the body back into balance and healing. You know, it's such a healing diet. It's the only diet that heals the body. Well, a whole food plant-based diet. The China study, and Dr. Carol Esselstyn and Michael Greger from nutritionfacts.org has all that information. But veganism is about much more than that. And that's what really feels good to bring back. It feels good for me to click back and touch base with what veganism really, really stands for. And it stands for compassion for all living beings, which includes